Let me take this opportunity to appreciate the county government of Garissa for giving us a platform to fill the gaps in terms of resources for the people of Garissa. As WFP and in regards to today's event, WFP has been implementing programs in the Department of Livestock, Agriculture, Irrigation, Water, Climate Change, Gender, Youth, Health, Education, Trade and Cooperative through a well-established Memorandum of Understanding since 2018, and we very well align with the County Integrated Development Plan. Garissa is one of the counties that's well placed with productive land. Nonetheless, we have huge hectares of underutilized productive land. So as we develop and launch the irrigation policy today, it's important we visualize how do we expand and enhance our productive capacity both in livestock, agriculture, through the development of irrigation. As WFP and in our effort of strengthening this capacity, we have invested in minor irrigation schemes, mostly along the river. About 6 minor irrigation schemes with a minimum of 300 acres each have been developed along the river. That has put about or over 2,000 acres of land under production for farmers along the river. We have equally thought of looking at the hinterland and promoting dryland agriculture. And in this regard, we have made efforts in Malimin and particularly in the area of Gurufa and also Kumahumato area to pilot dryland agriculture, which has been successful. This is a journey. Today we are ending a journey that we have started early 2023 with the county government. This is a journey that we have started a long time with the county government and technical support from the national government. And I want us to give Garissa County a round of applause because and I want to give the reason for that. Garissa County is the only county, and I know the director will also mention, that has developed a county level irrigation policy. We have the national irrigation policy, I think it's 2017. We have the act, we have the regulation, but none of the 47 counties have domesticated that policy. And I know it's something to be proud of, Your Excellency. And within this policy, we are looking at developing structures that will ensure we implement the vision of this policy. That is particularly the CDU, the County Irrigation Development Unit, which is a structure that we really need to promote going forward. We are also visualizing, now that we also have the speaker in the house, of translating and looking at the policy and developing a bill for this. And we'll really need the support of the county assembly to ensure this is done. As WFP, we have visualized the governor's manifesto, and he had a vision of developing green villages. You remember that very well. Establishing 3 green villages in the most productive parts of this county. And we translated that into the approach of designing and implementing our program, and we came up with what we call Food System Resilience Hub. This is a geographical space where we will concentrate investment from WFP, the government, and partners that are in this room, so that the communities that are in these areas will be transitioned out of food insecurity in a short period, and we move to other areas. So far we have established, with support of the technical team of the county, 6 food system hubs, and we have already invested in some of those food system hubs. Your Excellency, I will not leave the stage if I don't mention the challenges that are facing our farmers in Garissa. Along the river, we have recurrent floods that keeps on destroying our productive assets. And this is our effort, and I know the Director Irrigation from National Government is also here to represent the PS. Although the other actors are not here, this is a discussion that we need to take forward. We are also working with other partners like NDMA, Kenya Red Cross, WFP, the county government, to look at how do we, and KEFRI, how do we stabilize the river bank and look at the breakpoints of the river. Then we put efforts of putting barriers along those areas and enhance ecosystem restoration. We try to look at the bamboo investment. How do we put bamboo trees, plant them, and as a pilot in along the river, so that the river bank is stabilized. But this is a call for efforts for all of us to enhance and protect our farmers. As on behalf of other partners, I wish to take this opportunity to appreciate all of you for coming. I don't want to follow the government protocol and ask the partners to stand up, but we have PGI in the room, we have Mexico, we have Save the Children, we have CARE, we have Millennium Water Alliance, we have RRDO, Kenya Red Cross, TDH in the house, UNDP, Abdullah, my brother, should be around. So most of us are here. The reason why we are here is not just to participate in the launch of this policy, but to put efforts in the implementation of this policy, because the county and WFP alone cannot achieve. We need your support in looking at the policy and investing in the policy vision.
I am the Director in charge of Irrigation Quality Assurance and Licensing in the State Department for Irrigation, and I'm also a policy and strategy expert. I was one of the lead experts in guiding the development of the Garissa County policy. And in that note, let me say a few things. I'm officially representing the Principal Secretary, State Department for Irrigation, CPA Funders Kimobo, and maybe I will mention 2 things he told me to mention to His Excellency this morning when we were talking on phone. So I feel very honored actually to be among his team today. And on behalf of the PS, CPA Funders Kimodo, and also on behalf of SDI, we feel that this is a very big milestone, especially on the national map. I want to congratulate Garissa County as a government for being a face setter. Maybe Your Excellency, it's important to know that we don't have any other county as of now that has managed to develop a county irrigation development policy. And this, therefore, these are very critical milestones, very important. And I was telling my colleagues this morning that Garissa will be a county to benchmark with on how to go about the process of developing an irrigation policy. I won't forget to congratulate also the partners. You know, we have walked this journey with a number of partners. The most notable, of course, has been World Food Program that has facilitated most of the processes in developing this policy. And that is very important to note. And I also want to call upon even the other partners to come on board and support the corresponding actions, because we still have a way forward in the developing of other policy documents, policy instruments to facilitate the implementation of the policy. Ladies and gentlemen, if I may say a few things related to national goals, national objectives. In the national perspective, we have several objectives or several lines of work, and one of the key issues is the increase of water for irrigation, which is very key. As you are aware that our country is 80% ASAP, and if we are to pursue the agenda for irrigation development, then we must endeavor to also increase the water for irrigation through water storage and harvesting. Another thing, another objective that we pursue is mapping for areas for irrigation schemes. We need to identify the areas that have potential for irrigation development. We also expand the area of under irrigation and also do irrigation infrastructure. And therefore, as we do all these things, we also do management of irrigation schemes. Maybe to note one key thing, we have done many irrigation schemes, but the performance of many irrigation schemes is around 30-40%. So for us to also realize the potential of the schemes that we have developed even in Garissa County, we have to find mechanisms to undertake very strategic scheme management. Even in our public schemes, we realize that their performance is also around 30-40%. And other than developing the irrigation schemes, I also request the experts in the house to make sure that the management of the irrigation schemes is undertaken in a very professional way, and that involves the capacity building, the establishment and capacity building of irrigation water user associations. So these are elements that we are looking forward to ensure that the acreage that we talk about even at the national government of around over 700,000 acres are put into productive use. If you calculate around 40% of that acreage, you realize that we are not doing the best of our irrigation development in this country. We have been developing for long, but not realizing the full potential. And therefore, as I mentioned the national aspects, I quickly looked at the policy that we have developed, and the policy also pronounces itself to the national goals. And therefore, in irrigation development, maybe to mention this, ladies and gentlemen, our overall objective is to realize food and nutrition security, reduce poverty, and also enhance socio-economic development. It is very important to note this. Our national food import budget goes to around 5 billion every year. So I think if we come to our realization, we can reduce our import budget by a very big margin if we undertake irrigation in the best way possible. And therefore, in this case, for some of you who may be aware, recently the State Department for Irrigation launched what we call the National Irrigation Sector Investment Plan. I think some of you represented Garissa County in this forum, where we were launching the National Irrigation Sector Investment Plan. And this plan has 5 key pathways, and I want to mention them that you also realize the national direction as we endeavor to develop irrigation in this country. Our biggest challenge has been to have dreams and visions that are never realized, and we know our potential. By the way, Garissa County can almost provide 20% of our national food requirement. If we do our business right, Garissa County alone can provide the food requirement like up to 25% of this country. And therefore, we only need to do our thing right. And therefore, if we have to realize this food agenda, irrigation is the biggest enabler in agricultural development. Please not understand. Irrigation is the biggest, the greatest enabler in realizing food security in this country. And therefore, we have no option other than to do a number of few things. One, we need to support the smallholder farmers. in a very strategic way. Smallholder farmers have to be supported so that they can also realize the dream for food self-sufficiency. The other thing, we have to continue developing infrastructure for irrigation. The infrastructure for irrigation is a dual approach. We need to have infrastructure for water storage and water harvesting and storage, and we also need to develop the infrastructure for water delivery. So these two areas, other than doing the roads and all the other kind of infrastructure, irrigation infrastructure is key. And currently we have climate change. So the designers of irrigation schemes, we also have to do climate proofing. As you look like the science engineers in the house, also study the new emerging concepts on climate proofing, so that every season we don't run in the destruction of irrigation infrastructure. Your Excellency, we have done 500 acres in Lao. Had been almost completed under irrigation. But during the last floods, the whole land was run over by flood water. And therefore, we cannot continue building, rehabilitating, and such kind of processes. We are not moving to the next milestones. And therefore, we need also to do a bit of climate proofing. Let me therefore finish this. We have the next milestones in this process. We have done the policy, but we also have to do a bill, and we also need to do a strategy. And therefore, in this case, I want to request also the county government and the partners to support the department responsible for irrigation, so that we can also realize the bill that will operationalize the policy and also realize the irrigation development strategy for Garissa County. Maybe the last note, the establishment and the capacity building of county irrigation development units, moving forward in all the counties and all the emerging projects, including the World Bank projects. I support FSRP as a technical expert, and therefore we are leveraging on county irrigation development units so that we can carry forward the irrigation agenda. It is not just enough to establish a county irrigation development unit, but it's also important to resource. And this is about the county assembly. Please, county assemblies, please resource the county irrigation development units, because they need resources to advance their agenda. And therefore, going forward, we will collaborate from the national government. We want to extend our hand to His Excellency and to Garissa County to have a collaborative framework that will carry forward the irrigation agenda. And therefore, in this point, I want to wish Your Excellency and Garissa County all the best, and may God bless you. Porque any salamu kutoka Principal Secretary CPA Farmers tomorrow. Thank you very much, and I submit.
It's an honor for me this morning to join you for the launch of Garissa County Irrigation Policy and unveiling the County Irrigation Development Unit, CIDU. Two bold steps here towards building a food secure, climate resilient, and economically empowered Garissa. This is, I think, what the policy envisages to achieve. These initiatives marks a critical shift from rain-fed farming to a structured, sustainable, farmer-owned and managed irrigation system. The bottom line is, it's a farmer-owned process which is going to shift from the rain-fed now to a more reliable, more sustainable method of making Garissa a food secure county. These systems have the power to improve productivity, reduce poverty, and create lasting jobs across the county. Very well, I know every morning, every evening, the Garissa people, the youth, are on the neck of the governor asking for jobs, which are now shrinking by the day. And therefore, with this sustainable way of creating food, I think it is a way of creating jobs for our youths and our farmers. But I also like to urge the county executive I would like to urge the county executive to not only do the irrigation, not only support the farmers, but to ensure that it gets end to end, in the sense that we also improve on the on the chain, in terms of food processing, the storage, and all that, to ensure that we get the best out of this irrigation. As the County Assembly of Garissa, we take pride in our role as facilitators of such transformative programs. Through legislation and oversight, we will ensure that CIDU is firmly anchored in a transparent, inclusive, and accountable structure. In line with this responsibility of the Assembly, I am proud to report that 2 days ago, I witnessed His Excellency the Governor assent to five critical bills passed by the Assembly, with each of them aimed at improving governance, service delivery, and climate resilience in Garissa County. Your Excellency, one of those bills was the climate resilience. And therefore, we are committed to ensure that whatever policies you have, whatever programs you have for Garissa County is anchored on the legal required frameworks. To the executive and our development partners, we affirm our commitment as an Assembly to supporting the successful implementation of this policy. As the CEC rightly said here, we will have now the policy is a statement. We ensure that this is fast-tracked that it culminates into a bill. And therefore, as an Assembly, we are committed to that process. Your partnership remains invaluable to us, development partners. We really appreciate, as an Assembly also, when I came in, the Assembly wasn't part of your customers or clients. But I think, knowing where I have come from, having worked with the development partners for a good part of my life, I know the critical and important role you play in development matters. And therefore, we have a partnership department at the Assembly where we partner with a number of you, including UNICEF here, WFP, and all others, UNDP. My good friend Abdullah is here, I think. We appreciate your input to ensure that Garissa County achieves the best for its people. To our farmers, especially those affected by the current floods, this policy offers a real opportunity to shift to safer irrigated farmlands that will increase yields and income far from flood-prone areas. It also lays the groundwork for integrated development, linking irrigation to better water use, improved livestock systems, and diversified agriculture. Lastly, I urge you, all of us here, let us not just irrigate our lands. Let us not just irrigate our lands, but also let us irrigate our dreams. We irrigate our economy, and we irrigate our mindsets towards a self-reliant, thriving Garissa for sustainable food security.